The laughter from the reception swirled like a tide around us. Champagne bubbles, soft jazz, the faint clinking of silver. And yet, when Elena's fingers brushed my wrist, everything else disappeared. I turned, startled by the warmth in her touch. The bride's mother? The woman I'd watched all evening, trying to convince myself that the magnetic pull between us was nothing more than curiosity. But her eyes? Gray and restless, like a storm rolling in over calm water, said otherwise. "Come with me," she murmured. Her voice barely carried above the hum of the band, but it was enough. She led me through a blur of dancing guests and flickering candlelight into the quiet refuge of the kitchen. The door swung shut behind us, muting the world outside. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The air felt charged, fragile, trembling. When she finally let go of my wrist, her hand lingered in the air as if it couldn't quite bear the loss of contact. "I shouldn't have pulled you away like that," she said softly. "But I needed to tell you something before the night ended." "Elena," I said, her name a whisper that felt dangerous on my tongue. "You don't have to explain." Her eyes found mine, and in that shared gaze, something unspoken cracked open. Years of restraint, of carefully arranged poise and duty, seemed to slip away. "I don't understand what's happening to me," she breathed. "I've never felt this with anyone. Not like this. Not with a woman." Her confession hung in the air, delicate, electric. I could hear the faint echo of laughter through the walls, but in this small room, the world had narrowed to just us. When her thumb brushed the edge of my jaw, the warmth of her touch felt like sunlight breaking through a lifetime of winter. "Age is just a number," I murmured, placing my hand over hers. Her lips parted, a quiet tremor passing through her. "You're 26, she said, almost in disbelief. "And I'm 52. What could you possibly see in me?" I leaned closer, close enough to see the tiny lines that told stories no one else had cared to ask about. "I want your stories," I whispered. "I want to know what makes you laugh at 3 a.m. I want to know who you are when the world stops watching." Something inside her broke, not in pain, but in release. Her eyes shimmered with tears she didn't try to hide. "I've spent my life being what everyone else needed," she said. "The perfect wife. The mother who never faltered. The woman who smiled even when she wanted to disappear. But when you look at me," she paused, her voice trembling, "I feel like I can just be Elena." The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was full, heavy with possibility. "This is madness," she whispered, stepping closer. "The best things usually are," I said, my voice barely more than breath. Our first kiss wasn't planned. It was hesitant, trembling. A question asked in the language of touch. But when I kissed her back, the world tilted, time collapsing into a single heartbeat. When we finally pulled apart, her forehead rested against mine, our breaths tangled. "I don't know how to do this," she confessed. "We'll figure it out together," I promised. "No rules, no labels, just us." A sudden burst of laughter from the reception broke the spell. Somewhere beyond the door, someone cheered for the newlyweds. The sound reminded us of where we were and what we were risking. Elena straightened her dress, her composure returning like a familiar mask. But when she turned to go, I caught her hand. "Coffee tomorrow?" I asked quietly. "Somewhere quiet, somewhere real." Her smile bloomed slow, radiant. "I'd like that," she said. And for the first time that night, I saw not the mother of the bride, not the woman defined by decades of responsibility, but Elena, the person rediscovering the thrill of being alive. As we stepped back into the glowing hum of the celebration, her hand brushed mine in a fleeting, secret touch. Across the crowded room, our eyes met once more. And in that glance, we made a silent promise to be brave. Sometimes, the most profound moments don't happen under chandeliers or vows, but in quiet corners, behind kitchen doors, where two souls finally find the courage to speak their truth. Thank you for listening to Listen Heart. If this story touched something inside you, if it reminded you that love doesn't have an age, a rule, or a script, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because sometimes the second chapter is the one that finally feels like home.